Hey everyone, this is the second episode of Langgraph tutorial series. In the last video, right? So we covered how to create a simple Langgraph with the nodes, some normal edges, and some conditional edges. So this is the uh, script I think we covered this, and I showed you clearly how to start and how to create the nodes, and after that, what is the normal edge and conditional edge. So that's it, right? So we covered that. Now our target is we know how to create normal graphs using LangGraph, how to create nodes, how to do the conditional edges and normal edges and all these things. Next, our next topic is like how we can use LLMs in our graphs with the help of like in the LangGraph, how we can access LLMs and basically chat models, and how can we access chat messages, and how we can see like we'll cover tools and how to execute those tools in the tool calls and function calls in the next video. But today I just want to focus majorly on this part, like how can you access chat messages and at the same time chat models. Okay, so our target is, let's say you have a starting point and you have the step one, that is node, and after that in the middle of the process you want to access one of the LLM. How are you going to access your LLM? So how you going to access the chat messages? How you get the conclusion? That's the process. This entire thing is known as chain. Chain is nothing but you have nodes, and within the nodes you have some LLM calls and all those things happen, right? This entire sequence is nothing but a chain. Okay. So first we have some dependency. So earlier, like we people are using with OpenAI, and you can go ahead with that. But I know OpenAI is paid one. You have to pay for it, and let's say you don't want to pay anything, you want to learn something, and then in that case you can go ahead with the Google Gemini API. I already created a tutorial like how you can access so free Gemini API, so you don't need to pay anything, so you can just refer this video. You can get the clarity like how can you access Gemini API without paying anything. Okay, so provided you can go through that, you can understand. So first step is to install the dependencies. You need to have this LangChain Google Gemini because we are using Gemini model. That's why. And after that, OpenAI, you don't need to use it. Okay, so if you want to use it, you can keep it. And Google Generative AI, these things are necessary. You can check these versions. In case if you face any compatibility issues, just copy that and paste it to ChatGPT. It will return you what kind of a version you have to use. Just replace it. That's it. First step is we have to understand what is messages. So in chat models, you have to deal with messages. In general, there are two types of messages. One is AI message, another one is human message. AI message is also known as system message, right? So there is a package that is known as LangChain core. Within that, there is a module that is known as messages. You can see this. From that, we can import AI message as well as human message. What it will indicate is here in this step, right? We didn't call any LLM here. It's just an indication, like to tell to the model, like this is AI message, this is human message. Let's say I set some context, right? I created some system configurations or system context. At the time, it will be very helpful for me if I use this kind of a metadata, all these things. So what it will indicate, instead of telling the model like, okay, this is a AI message, this is a human message, you have to come up with this. Instead of that, I can simply use this from this LangChain core messages. I can access this methods, so that by default it will indicate like, okay, this is a AI message, this is a human message. I can give name also, like model. Here I given name as model. Let me run this so that we'll get some clarity. Just do shift and enter. Okay, you can see this. First is AI message, and what it was name is model. You got this. So you said you are researching ocean mammals, and after that message, whatever messages is there, it's nothing but list. Okay, so it's not append. What you appended at the end, in the next element, you are adding human message. It's a sequence, right? AI message is there, human message is there, AI message is there, human message is there. That sequence is there. So that's why you are maintaining in this way. The name is model, and whatever message you given, you are getting here. Next is name is Lance. It's a human. Human name is Lance. And yes, that's right. Then after that, you have to, then again, model was responding. Like this is just we setting the context. Here, our target is how we can access the messages module from LangChain core and how we can understand AI message and human message so that we can feed these things to the LLM so that LLM will understand the things in a better way. That's the purpose of this package. This entire package is why we are understanding. So my target is to understand step by step so that at the end, whenever you creating your own application, at the time you will feel comfortable. Okay, there is a module that is known as available in LangChain core that is messages from where I can access AI messages as well as human messages. Right? That's my point. I'll show you, I'll change this data so that we'll get more comfortable and more clarity. So then AI message is like, okay, name is model and after the great, what would you like to learn about? Then Lancy, the person who's saying like, I want to learn about best places to see forecast in the US. Okay, this is the question. Okay, now what I do, I'm using Gemini, right? I'll say Gemini model. Instead of normal model, I'm making as a, so instead of Lance, I'm using Perumal. Nice, my name. Why I should give someone name, right? So yeah, so I'm using, okay, again I'm using Gemini model here. So Gemini model. Again, my name is Perumal. Um uh so okay. So first we'll check how the messages will appear, right? So let me uh print one statement like print, okay, so message, what we have to see, we want to see how the message will look like. Messages, it's a list, right? So how it has to look like. And after that, instead of pretty print, I'll just print each line. Okay, forget first, let's check this. So how it's going to see. Control S, and after that shift run. See what it was doing. So it all was appended. First is AI message. So you said whatever you data given, that is coming here. Apart from that, you can see this additional keywords, keyword arguments, response metadata, name, whatever name you given, that is displayed here. This is the advantage of this AI message. Like from the LangChain core messages, apart from whatever you are passing, so you can pass some extra keyword arguments and response metadata. In this way, so you can, it will be very helpful whenever you are sending some kind of a data to the model. It will have some additional context, like you can pass some additional keyword arguments, you can pass some metadata, all these things can be done. That's why we are using this kind of AI message and human message from the LangChain core. Okay, so entire thing will be appended. Okay. Now, same thing. So now you got the clarity. Whatever you give here, like it will display here. So let's say you're feeding this entire thing to the model. So instead of you know, uh, instead of normally giving this, you are giving the things in a better way. So now the model will understand, like you'll pass this kind of a data to the model. So if you pass directly question or if you pass this particular format, obviously this format will makes the model in a better way, it will give the response in a better way. That's why we are using this LangChain core messages. That's the point. Okay, so that's it. Just to comment it just on this. So this is what the data is. Next, you ask the, at the end, you human question is, I want to learn about the best place to see overcast in the US. This is the question. Okay. Next, we are using chart models. There are many chart models are available, like OpenAI is there, Gemini is there, Llama, Mistral, all these things are there. But for our in this entire tutorial, so instead of OpenAI, I'm using this uh, Gemini. So you can, this is the logic. Okay, so you can, from the LangChain Google Gemini, you can use chat Google Generative AI. You can configure your API. So instead of giving like this way, you can set in environment variables, you can do that also. But for time being, I'm just given like this straightforward. This is a explanation, right? In case if you're implementing some production level solution, you don't need to do like this. You have to store this in .env, and after that from the load env, so you can access the credentials. Okay. So, so now what we are using is Gemini 2.5 Flash model we are using, and whatever messages is nothing but here we have the messages, right? we have this entire data. That is what our target, right? We have to call the LLM how it was responding. So we're passing this and we're checking the result. How we're going to get just a normal LLM call. But what we're doing is our what we're trying to do here is we're using AI message and human messages from the LangChain core. We're just checking how well it was giving the things in a better way, right? So now we are passing this entire thing to the model, and uh, now we're just checking the type. Okay, what its type is. It given LangChain core messages dot AI message. Now you understand, right? Like how it was giving the response. Itself you can see we given human response. Next step is AI message, right? That is the advantage of this LangChain core dot messages. It will clearly tell you what is human message, what is AI message. In that way we'll understand better. So let's say in coding in complex situations, you will know, okay, this is AI message, this is human message, so that we'll get more clarity. That's why we are using this LangChain core messages. From LangChain core we're using this message is nothing but a method which is available in the LangChain. Okay, so LangChain core. Yeah. So now we got it, we got to know this. And if you print the result, you got the message. So when it comes to seeing orcas, this is the question you ask, right? As a human, what you ask? You ask human last messages, I want to learn about best place to see orcas in the US. So it given. Okay, let me run it again. You can see this, it was taking some seconds to give the data to you. See, this is this. Now let me run this. See, if you're looking for the best places to see orcas in the US, the Sam Juan Islands in Washington State are widely considered the top spot. You can see this message format also. It was changed a bit. Why it is the best? It given the reason and everything. It's just normal LLM call, but compared to direct task, right? If you give like this, so it will understand. Okay, this is a message. This is human message in this way, and also you can check the metadata also. For this Gemini, there is no such metadata. Okay, so that's it. So, in this video, we learn how to access these messages, and you can see this uh, metadata. So that means, okay, got it. So let's say instead of this response metadata, there is usage metadata. I think in OpenAI that is a response metadata. If you do this, now you can see this what is how many input tokens are there. This is how you have to do, right? So this is how you have to know. You get the clarity like what is this ID. This is nothing but a response metadata. If you look at this, yeah, response metadata is nothing and got it. So the usage metadata you get the number of input tokens you ask, number of output tokens given, total number of tokens, all this information you can get. Right. So, yeah. So, in case you just want the message content only, so what you can do, so simply, uh, you can, I think it's result dot content. So, let me add one more thing, result dot content. Yeah, that's it. You'll get only message. So, see, this is how you have to do some trial and error so that you can get more clarity. So you have to understand, okay, how you have to print that, how you have to understand it. So this is my point. Okay. So next what I'm trying to do is I'll explain you how to use the tools and what is tools, what is definition and all those things. And we'll practically implement one tool call here, function call here in this Langgraph flow. Okay, so this if I tell all this thing on a single video, it will be overwhelming. So that's why I just want to cover how we can use this LangGraph and sorry LangChain in the LangChain core messages. How we can use AI message and human message, and how can we display the things. How we can pass this entire data to model, and how we can get the response instead of OpenAI. We can trying to going with Google GenAI. That's it. This is what I want to cover here. I hope you will learn something, and we'll see you in the next video. I'll try to cover these tools and how to call the tools and all those stuff in the next tutorials. Till then, take care. Bye bye.